My girlfriend cheated, so I made her big revenge. So about a year ago, I discovered something that my girlfriend, 23, still doesn't know I found out. Let me start with, she has been thin her whole life, eats all she can, and never can get over 120 pounds at 5'6", and nice hips and curves. She looks great, very pretty in the face, blonde hair, I loved her. I'm not going to get into the details, but a few months ago I noticed she wasn't places that she was saying she was going when I would see her location. And I made the stupid decision of going through her phone, obviously knowing what I would find. I'm not positive how long, and I haven't confronted her about it. She doesn't know that I found out. I know 2 wrongs don't make a right. But I don't really care at this point. A little revenge seemed justified. I thought, what can feed her that will make her balloon and no one will want her again? What if I just slip a bit of heavy cream into her, coffee and more into her cereal in the morning? So that's what I did, start her day with over a 1K calories, and that's all you really gotta do. Of course, I would give her snack all day and make sure she ate plenty of her favorite food all the time, especially at night when she takes an edible. She blew up pretty fast, putting on probably 20-30 pounds in like 3 months. She has great genes, and most of it went to the hourglass shape she's always had. It's just a bit wider and thick now. I can't lie. It's pretty great. She liked a bit of added curves she's never experienced before, so she didn't think much of the gain or what she's been eating. As she grew, so did her appetite, and I don't think she paid much attention, or she just liked how the first couple pounds were landing. Eventually, every meal I would make for her, and something about it heavily caloric that would easily put every meal over 1,000 cal on the low end, and 3 meals a day. One of the meals being a coffee filled with hundreds of calories of heavy cream, and a heaping bowl of cereal filled with heavy cream as well. Come nighttime, we would share at least a 6-pack of Angry Orchard, and eat at least a pint of ice cream if she's really getting Munchies cheesecake too. Sometimes I would lie saying I'm trying to save money by the whole case of Angry Orchard, and we end up drinking way more of any that night, just to add a couple more empty calories in her. She seemed to love it, and honestly, so did I. She seemed very carefree about it, that is, until she started outgrowing her clothes. At this point, she was no longer oblivious. She stepped on the scale to reveal the number. She was 158 pounds. She could not believe her. In her mind, she had put on maybe 15 pounds of curves spread evenly throughout her body. She couldn't tell she had gotten bigger, but she didn't know to what extent she had done. She never been anywhere even close to this weight. She has no idea what a calorie is or a deficit. The only diet she's ever done is only drinking coffee and smoke her vape for a day or two after a holiday season of overeat. I took this as a moment to capitalize. I told her it's completely fine, and that I would love her exactly how she is. It didn't matter to me, but if she was really committed to losing the weight and getting her figure back to where it was, I would help from this point. Only coffee, filled with heavy cream, and a protein shake, mass gainer, in the morning. A smoothie for lunch, no real fruit, just one of those naked smoothie with more heavy cream. And by the time she would get home for dinner, she will be starving. It wouldn't matter how big a feast I make, she would eat till her stomach was full. Probably what one would call a binge eating disorder. The next couple months were so sexy, her always being ravenously hungry. All of her calories were liquid, so despite being in a surplus, nothing was filling. She started to binge larger than I've ever seen her eat at night, to the point where her stomach would start to hurt and she would just go to bed, belly distended. It's like the moment she started restricting, her fat distribution started to change. More fat started building up around her belly. Her arms were getting fatter. Her already fluffy cheeks were now turning into a round face and double chin, and don't get me wrong, her thighs and butt were reaching a size that was unbelievable and so sexy. Her tits are huge, her rack got in the way of everything. I could tell there was a bit of an attitude shift eventually. She was now probably up 50, 60 pounds, and everybody was noticing. For the first 20 to 40 pounds just kind of accentuated her hourglass curves. Friends would give comments about how they're jealous of her larger rack and butt. However, the last couple pounds are really starting to stick to her midsection. Her gut was rounding out, giving it the appearance. She's been drinking a lot of beer, or in her case, Angry Orchards. Her increased appetite for both booze and food went from cute and quirky to a little worrying for her friends and family, the closer she approached 200 pounds. And it almost seems like she's began to reach a point of acceptance slowly. Eating more for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, adding snacks, it's like I didn't need to influence her to eat more at all. She was just doing it on her own for appetite run wild, and she gave up the hope of ever seeing that small version again. What do you think? Should I stop here? Should I continue making her big? Should I reveal what I've been doing this whole time? She's nearly 200 pounds and honestly above every part I don't see why stop.